And yes, the wax melted, the feathers came apart, and he fell. But here's what they don't tell you. Icarus didn't scream, he didn't regret, but he laughed. He laughed as he fell, for he knew that to fall is to once have soared.
All right, so we are here with Lewis for our fourth installment of the Dynamic Dynasty Trade Deadline Special. So Lewis, I know you've gone through a lot of scrutiny over the last recent times, um, and you really haven't made too many big trades. So right now, Lewis is sitting, I think, bottom third, maybe the second to last in our league. Again, last place is Evan, in case anyone has forgotten. He also has the lowest win percentage, by the way. But I'm not hating. This is just journalism and facts. So,
the numbers.
First thing I wanted to ask you is, do you know ball?
You just got real quiet. Can you say that one more time?
I just want to ask you, do you know ball?
I know ball in the football sense of the word, where the team that picked to win games are good. I think a lot
trophy picks, stuff like that.
Right, I think a lot of the players, I have a good sense of what players are good. I don't know trade ball. And I think everyone...
Oh, gotcha.
Very...
That leads to my follow-up question here.
Yeah.
Who was your pick to win the Heisman this year?
I don't
I have it written down.
I believed following a trend of Joe Burrow in his last year at LSU, followed up by Jaden Daniels, and in his last year at LSU, I believed that Garrett Nussmeier was going to win the Heisman. I do believe that was my take, yes. But At least Arch Manning was going to win the Heisman, because a lot of people did.
That is true, although his odds are going up as we speak. So I guess follow-up question. I know you're going to be, hypothetically, you have some hope picking high this year. Who are you kind of looking at that third spot?
That's a great question for Josh Burkowski. Right, so that is kind of the blunder that keeps, I've made a lot of bad trades, right? I mean, sometimes...
Let's pull this one up, shall we?
I lie at night and I think in my bed. I'm like, I had Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy football team, and sometimes I have to live with the fact that now they're not on my fantasy team and I kind of suck too.
And
I think first thing is my pick this year.
Gotcha. You're not going to pick Garrett Nussmeier?
No, because I had some evidence going into that. This is just a bad trade, and then when you look at my team, which I'm sure you're about to do, right? I've got, the way I see it, I've got Trevion Henderson and RJ Harvey and Malik Neighbors. Those are really great young players. That's three really promising, great young players. And had I not made that stupid trade, I would be in place to maybe even take Jeremiah Love next year, and I'd have him to add to those three. Right?
Yeah.
And that's just my fault.
And I don't know if you have heard, but J.K. Dobbins is slated to be out for probably the rest of the season.
I have heard this.
And so, watch out. I mean, there's that last wild card spot is kind of up for grabs, so watch out. Watch out, everyone. So maybe you should be buying at this trade deadline. I'm kind of kidding.
Yeah, I have been offered some. I don't know if I want to say. I mean, I guess I can say his name. Everyone is always offering retarded trades. I was offered last night for Trevion. I was offered. Let me just think this intersection first. Sorry. I'm trying to remember. It was Jerry Jeudy, Xavier Worthy, and 2 2027 firsts for Trevion Henderson. That's a lot.
It is true.
That's a whole lot. And I still
I'm kind of the opinion that you need to figure out how to get another wide receiver. But next year, your team should be able to rock and roll with Malik Neighbors.
I have to agree. I mean, I've got a top 5 quarterback. I've got a top 5 wide receiver. And I've got rookie running backs who could really be something. You know, like RJ Harvey, I think he's got, I mean, if we're going by potential, I think he's got the potential to be like a top 10 back for a good chunk of time. And I think going by potential. Huh?
I can see that.
Yeah, and I think Trevion has, if we're talking like absolute upper ceiling, I think he has potential to be top 2 for a long. So
yeah, I don't think that's impossible.
Be, but he could.
Yeah, I don't think that's impossible.
I'm really happy with that.
Like
the oldest, as far as I'm aware. There you go.
So one thing I wanted to introduce you to, and some member of our audience is here. It's called Keep Trade Cut, and a benefit of Keep Trade Cut is it assigns value as points to players, and it is a useful tool. It's not the only thing, right? Because you can have your own opinions and be in a different stage of life on your dynasty roster, but it has different tools for you to evaluate. And so this was kind of the trade that made people go, what's Lewis doing? I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on this, on your thought process at the time of this trade.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
I can't read it, unfortunately, because, like I said, I'm driving and I have to zoom in. But which trade is it?
This is the Flowers for Waddle and a first.
Yeah, and Brian Robinson actually.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, it's actually worse.
12,000 points for. It's okay. Hey, man, I'm just busting your chops here, right? That's just part of playing the game. You're going to get had. You're going to get a hunch. Kind of moving on from that. So before this season, you decided to trade Jonathan Taylor. And I want to preface this with 2 things, because I don't think this was that bad of a deal for you. Number one, Jonathan Taylor had been... I
really don't.
Yeah, I mean, he had been a great back, but he had been injured, and you had a very young team. And you didn't have any quarterbacks, and then you got a quarterback. And so this isn't the full trade because it was like a 3-way with Emilio. Basically, you got Mahomes and a first. This is just what I sent. This is just what I got from it here. But you got Mahomes and a first for Jonathan Taylor and Jordan Love. And that first ended up being RJ Harvey. So what do you think about this trade when you made it, and what do you think about it now?
When I made it, I was kind of the same thought as you, where I was like, okay, I don't have a quarterback. I don't believe in Jordan Love at all. I told you this actually just a few days ago. We were talking, and I don't believe in him. Jared knows this because we had this discussion earlier. I just don't think he's actually a good quarterback. Certainly not for fantasy, but I don't think he is in real life either.
Especially with his top options getting hurt.
Yeah, so I didn't mind losing him at all, like in the slightest. I didn't even view that really as a loss in my mind. And yeah, I lost Jonathan Taylor. He was coming off the season he was coming off compared to the season he's having now, where it's like nowhere near like he's having an MVP level season now, and he was just like good last season, decent.
He'd been good. He'd been great at times, but this is something he's even beating out Saquon last year, which was almost record-setting. And so you can't really expect someone to do that, you know?
Right.
And so I still don't hate it that much for you because Mahomes is still, was it QB2, QB3 right now?
I think he's 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
So kind of got off my big 2 spots here. What was kind of the thought process around you deciding to finally sell this season? Because you made some acquisitions and then you turned it around the other way.
There wasn't really, well, if I had to pick to a set point, it was that 1 week where I scored, I think it was like 80 something. It was just so bad. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, I looked, and that was one of the weeks that you almost hit 200. And I was just looking at it and I was like, this is not a salvageable season at all. Like, my team, there's no move I could make without, because I don't know. I'm still developing the dynasty mind, right? I'm bad at the value of picks. For whatever reason, I'm just not very good at that. So, things like the Flowers trade, like the first, not even realizing that first, there is a world in which I could possibly have the first pick of this coming draft, and I traded that away, just like vaguely think like, yeah, okay, first pick, but then you actually give it some thought, and it's like, okay, that's Jeremiah Love. That's an elite running back as a rookie, an elite prospect.
Yeah.
So that's part of the thing. I've done a lot better since that trade.
I agree.
This is I've been much more careful with my trades, and I've been more negotiable with my trades. I think a trade I made recently, it's so insignificant, but I think it could work for the short term. All I need it for was Parker Washington, fourth. I'll take that. Like a guy who'll start 3 weeks, a fourth round pick is kind of nothing, right? And
yeah, it's random.
So that's really the least I give. I would have given less, to be honest. He's worth less than a fourth with how often he's going to get the ball. It's really only these next 3 weeks. But I'm just looking to push up, do a little better this year, get some hope for next year.
Yeah, it makes sense. Get some momentum.
Yeah, momentum. And I've got a good core. I know I do. I just need to build. I'm gonna have a good quarterback for a while. I'm gonna have, because Mahomes he's the oldest player on my team, unless I'm wrong, and even then, he's nowhere near it.
I think so.
I have a very young team.
Yeah.
But I think it's a young, relatively promising team. I just need to make some real moves, and I am not, for any reason, going to let go of my 2027 pick anytime soon, because
good job, Lewis.
I've had a lot of offers. The man wants it bad. That man wants those 2027s. I'm not even going to say his name, but because he wants this guy and I want that guy too. So if I end up having another bad season, the rebuild goes on another year, I'll be in position, if nothing else, to get maybe Ryan Williams. Maybe Arch pans out, and then now you've got your top 3 picks. In that circumstance would be Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, and Arch Manning. And, if I'm guaranteed a low pick, it's one of those 3.
Yeah.
So I'm not parting ways with that pick really for any reason. Just in case the rebuild has to go on another year. I say in case loosely. I'm not going to be able to get much value out of this draft unless I make a really big trade. I'll have an early second, so it's not terrible, but
yeah, the way I kind of think about it is that there's kind of like value and there's picks. This is Dynasty 101 here. Value and points. And with time, you can accrue value to buy points. And generally, if you're a contender, you have to sell value to buy points.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you look at my team, my roster is awesome. But, where are my picks at? Where's my youth at? In a year or two, they're probably going to start aging out to a certain extent. And I'll have to rebuild and sell out and accrue value and just do the cycle again. And so definitely only take trades right now that help you build in value. Don't worry about points. And your roster is good. I would not be surprised if you made the playoffs in 2027.
That's the dream. That really is. But yeah, I'm looking to just sit on what I have right now. I'm being offered trades. I think not a day goes by without someone saying something about Neighbors. There's always something about Henderson.
Yeah.
But those two are absolutely not for sale. Mahomes, really just my whole core, right? RJ Harvey is the only one of my core future that would consider trading.
So if you were to get a good offer, we got a few days left in the trade deadline. Would that be an option?
It'd have to be really good because I do like him. There's a reason I traded. That trade I did, I got rid of Jonathan Taylor for him. I believe in him. But it's not impossible. like Mahomes, Neighbors, and Henderson are impossible. There's just
I understand.
no negotiating that.
So I guess kind of last question before we get on out of here, second to last question. We did just have a big trade pop up between the last video and this one, the Baker Mayfield trade. What was your initial reaction to that?
You're just telling me about this for the first time. I've been at work all day. Because didn't Steve have Baker? Or am I
Emilio had Baker.
Baker? Okay.
I was able to get Baker Mayfield for Breece Hall, Justin Fields, and Aaron Jones. Emilio turned down a late first-round pick. He turned down a late first-round pick and a mid-second round pick. And he wanted Breece Hall and he wanted Justin Fields.
Interesting. So I think the only decent player there, in my opinion, that I would value, that I think their name even belongs in a trade with Baker, would be Breece Hall. And I'm not a Breece Hall believer, to be honest. I've had him in fantasy before, just regular, and he has let me down week after week. When I had him, now that was I think 2 years ago. It wasn't his best year. Maybe it was last year, but I think he won that hard, to be honest.
It's what he wanted. It's what the man wanted. So sometimes I might edit this out. I'm not gonna lie to you. This kind of hating too much. Yeah, so you gotta give the men what they want. All right, so that's a reaction to our last big trade. We will, of course, be keeping up to date as the hours tick by until Monday Night Football ends, I believe. Any parting quotes, words of wisdom, or how do you want to get out of here?
Unrelated to fantasy football, you don't have to put this in. Can y'all pray taking the dental admissions test on Wednesday? So I've been studying for that a lot, stressing for that a lot. Yeah, could use your prayers, please. All
right. So thank you very much for hopping on here. We got a good 15 minutes or so out of you. Appreciate the time. This one was a lot of fun. This was maybe the funniest one yet.
That's because I have retarded past, There's a lot
Enough about your retarded past. Let's discuss your retarded future.
Amen.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Later. Thanks for doing this.